It's Chris Matlashewski with the Built In Calgary team. And if you've been thinking about investing in Calgary's real estate market, I'm going to try and share with you 6 different areas or pockets today in which to consider investing. But, one of the things that you want to definitely do some research on or give some thought to is your ICP. That's your ideal client profile. When I talk about that, that's, looking at who do you want to attract as your ideal tenant? Is it a young professional? Is it a family? Is it a tenant that may be migratory? Are you looking for an Airbnb rental, aka short-term rental? With that, you need to consider their lifestyle. So what I've done today is I've outlined little zones that sort of focus on the type of lifestyle that would attract for that particular area there. So with that bearing in mind, I'm going to go through about 6 different pockets here. So let's get started. So I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to go into my first one here. So the first community that I'm going to look at is Calgary's north end here. So this is just north of the city center here. And what's really good about this is you've got a lot of bungalows in these areas here. So that's everything from quasi Tuxedo Park, more likely Highland, Thorncliffe, Huntington, Beddington Hills, and Country Hills. The reason why I like these is proximity to both the Calgary International Airport. So if you've got people working for Airport Authority, airlines, fly north for work or fly out of the country, ideal locations for these kind of people. As well as, if you want accessibility to get on a Stony Trail, quick access to there, or if you're working in the city center, going down Center Street or 14th Street, really good access. Great for people that have dogs. You can see this big green area here. That's Nose Hill Park, massive park located in the center of Calgary's northwest here. So that's one of the areas that I like. Suitability is fairly easy for most of these properties. Next pocket that I'm going to look at is over by Mount Royal University here. One of the biggest draws, obviously, is the Mount Royal University. So people that are students, you'll typically get draws. People that could be students like the outdoor life, for them to get out and go down Highway 8 or Glenmore Trail here onto Stony or down onto 16th Transcan to get out to the mountains. Super easy to do. Or if they're working downtown in the city center, going down 17th Ave, Crowchild Trail, or catching the LRT just off of Bow Trail and 37th Street here. So those are kind of the draws, but the big draw there would be Mount Royal University. If you're looking for a family-orientated community, going down into Calgary's south end there, this is now deemed the city center, but 25 years ago it was not. So areas like potentially Kingsland, Fairview, Acadia, Haysboro, Southwood, Canyon Meadows, really good communities that can attract families for a lot of reasons. One of the biggest ones is in most of the communities like Canyon Meadows and Acadia, Kingsland, you've got elementary schools, junior highs, high schools, all within those same communities. LRT access, easy accessibility to get to downtown, tons of shops. You've got easy access to all the major arteries. Anderson Road will take you down to Deerfoot to get you up to the Calgary Airport. Anderson Road going westbound will take you onto Stony, which will take you out to the mountains, as will Southland Drive. So schools are a big draw here, as well as lots of shops, big box stores. Again, attracting family-orientated demographic profiles. Going into the Northeast, if you're looking for cash flow, you typically may not get the ideal client, but you definitely will probably have a larger cash flow than any other communities in Calgary here. Typically blue collar, people working at the Calgary International Airport, again, flying out, they may work downtown, areas like Forest Lawn, Marlborough, Temple, Falcon Ridge, Saddle Ridge. All these areas are really good for enhanced cash flow. Lots of suites in these communities here. Also in the deep Northeast, very ethnic driven, so something to keep in mind. Down in the southeast here, I like these areas. Midnapore, again, for families. It's got elementary, junior high. It is a lake community here. Big box stores, LRT access. This is just a couple of minutes, about 6-7 minutes down from that other community, family orientated, of Canny Meadows that I was referencing. You know, getting out onto Stony here, aka Highway 201. As well, Mackenzie Town. What I really like about Mackenzie Town is you've got the ability to build laneway suites, carriage suites, aka Fonzie suites. So these are really good for enhanced cash flow. I also like Auburn Bay is really good, Cranston, because you have the South Campus Hospital here. You know, so people that live in Auburn Bay can walk. You know, that's a lifestyle that they choose. You also get families in these communities here. Copperfield, good for the price point. So just some of the areas in the southeast that I like. Going into the northwest, we've got 3 institutions that are like staples that really increased enhance property values. Always rent really well. So we've got the Children's Hospital, we've got the Foothills Hospital, and we have the University of Calgary. You know, the Foothills Hospital has got the new cancer clinic coming due for completion. They're going to be building a hotel nearby. You know, University of Calgary, I don't need to say much on that. So if your ideal client profiles for students, residents, young professionals, people working at any of those institutions, these are great areas. Your Montgomerys, you know, Bowness to some degree, St. Andrews Heights for people working at the university, or pardon me, the hospital, Banff Trail, Cap Hill, Brentwood, and Varsity. Really good for that. You can look into the West Hillhurst, but they are going to have higher real estate values, as well as probably some of the higher rents in these areas here. And then the last one that I'm going to talk about is the Calgary City Centre here. So these are really good for lifestyle. You know, that's everything from Inglewood, Calgary's oldest community. Typically, you know, I've got a property down in this area here, and it'll draw artistic people, you know, people in bands, artists, teachers, that sort of thing, people that are really creative. You know, Renfrew, Bridgeland, you know, Bridgeland's got fantastic shops and restaurants, as does Hillhurst area. Sunnyside, you know, you've got, again, shops, what have you, West Hillhurst. And then, you know, getting out into Montgomery again is, you know, here we're starting to see a little bit of overlap, almost a bit like a Venn diagram, where, you know, some of these areas will attract people that maybe students as well. So I talked about Banff Trail, Capitol Hill. Here you have SAIT, North Hill Mall, LRT access coming into the south end here into Martel Loop. You've got restaurants and shops, and then, you know, you've got some overlap in Killarney that's close to Mount Royal University. And then if you're getting into like super urban, funky, trendy, close to the river pathways, you've got a dog, you know, you're a young professional working downtown, Cliff Bungalow, Mission, really good for the rentals. So those are the identified zones that I really like, that I like to hone in on. So if you would like to know more about what properties cost in those areas, what they would get, what sort of typical rents are, we'd love to help you out. We're not just Calgary born and raised. We're not just Calgary realtors. We are Calgary investors. We know these markets. We really like them. We love to share our knowledge, and we'd love to help you make money for your financial freedom, for your retirement. So please, any questions, give us a call, 403-809-3523. Till then, enjoy the rest of the week. Cheers.